is Jamaica's Integrity Commission under serious attack from the Holness administration. In this expert analysis, we deep dive into the political drama surrounding the recent decision to remove the Auditor General from the Commission, restrict the IC's investigative powers, and the growing tension between the government, the opposition, and Jamaica's top anti-corruption institutions. Discover why the Auditor General was voted off the Integrity Commission board, the role of Everald Warmington, Delroy and Paula Llewellyn. Yes, DPP, Mark Golding, and the PNP's fiery response. How the IC's powers are being stripped one vote at a time. By the end of this breakdown, you will see how legislative reform may be Jamaica's newest form of political control. Do you think the Integrity Commission is being dismantled from the inside? Comment below. Subscribe for more deep political breakdowns. Like to spread awareness. Share if you care about anti-corruption in Jamaica. Jamaica's most powerful anti-corruption watchdog is being sliced, diced, and politically sterilized. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the Holness administration is turning accountability into a ceremonial buzzword. But here's the twist. What if this is just the beginning of a bigger game? Let's break it down. Do you think removing the Auditor General from the Integrity Commission was about transparency or cover-up? Drop your honest take below. What the hell is happening? Let's start with the Integrity Commission. Jamaica's supposedly independent, constitutionally backed anti-corruption watchdog. Its job to investigate the money trails, expose shady political deals, and actually hold leaders accountable. But recently, the commission has found itself under heavy fire from, you guessed it, the same people it's supposed to be watching. No, this isn't just another political squabble. This is surgical political warfare. Target by target, power by power, bit by bit. And the latest victim, the Auditor General. Yes, the same office responsible for independently auditing Jamaica's finances. The same watchdog that's been a permanent seat on the Integrity Commission board since day one. Keynote and pay attention to that. But now she's being removed. Team Holness or Team Integrity Commission? Let's settle this in the comments. Pick your side and tell us why. Holness versus the watchdogs. Here's how it all exploded. On Wednesday morning, the Joint Select Committee reviewing the Integrity Commission Act, dominated by government MPs, voted to remove the Auditor General from the commission. The rationale: MP Everald Warmington argued there's a conflict of interest, that the Auditor General, as Chief Auditor of the country, can't objectively serve on the commission. Sounds noble, right? Except the Integrity Commission board disagrees. The Solicitor General disagrees. Even the legal interpretation of the Constitution doesn't support Warmington's logic. But guess who agreed with the removal? The Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn. Her reasoning: public perception. She says even the appearance of conflict is enough. Interesting, but convenient, no? Meanwhile, the opposition, Dr. Maurice Guy, Julian Robinson, and Mark Golding slammed the move as another attempt to defang Jamaica's anti-corruption systems. In the words of Mark Golding, this is part of a wider pattern to weaken Jamaica's anti-corruption framework. Here's Here's my expert educational insight analysis. In politics, removing oversight isn't always done with brute force. Sometimes all it takes is a well-dressed amendment, a closed-door vote, and a committee nobody is watching. That's how you tame watchdogs without anyone hearing the bark. Wait, so the same people preaching anti-corruption are now voting to weaken the watchdogs? Am I missing something? Or is this straight madness? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. Why this story matters. What they don't want you to know. Now, if you think this was a one-off incident, think again. The same committee also voted to curb the commission's ability to collect third-party information. Translation: the commission now needs your consent before it can ask a bank or any third party to provide your data. Keynote and pay attention to all of that. Or they need a judge's permission with advance notice to the person being investigated. You can Wait, what? You can't make this up. You can't make this ish up. In other words, you have to give them heads up so they can go cover all of them tracks first, and then when they cover them tracks and not there for you find and discover, then say yes. Yeah man, you go ahead if you go investigate and do all of what you need to do. That's the whole point of this move where the JLP make. So any paper where me need to go shred and burn, once you give me the heads up, you have to wait for me to give you the permission to go ahead, and me have to give you the consent to say yes, go investigate me. Yeah, now it's okay for you to investigate me. That is what this is saying in simple terms. You literally you can't make this ish up. Trust and believe me. The Holness government is something else. Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley described this as handcuffing the commission while giving corrupt officials a head start. Exactly. It's like telling the police you can investigate me, but only if I say yes, and only after you tell me you're coming. Exactly. I want them to get it. I want them to understand what exactly the Holness administration is doing to the Integrity Commission. Them secretly and silently strip the Integrity Commission of all its powers. I pull out the teeth out of the watchdog mouth one by one. So let's ask the real question. Is the Holness administration quietly gutting the Integrity Commission while pretending to strengthen it? And if so, what are they trying to hide? That's an excellent question. Keynote and pay attention to all of what me just say. If the Auditor General is next on the chopping block, who's next after that? The Director of Investigations, the whistleblowers, or worse, the Jamaican public's trust? Stay with me. If you made it this far, you clearly care about Jamaica's future. Hit like, then tell me, should the Auditor General be removed? Yes or no? Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Auditor General voted off the Integrity Commission Board. Justification: conflict of interest versus political convenience. DPP sides with government. IC Board and Solicitor General disagree. Committee moves to weaken the IC's investigative powers. Opposition warns of systematic sabotage of anti-corruption framework. This isn't just about one vote or one amendment. It's about who gets to watch the watchers. Because when the gatekeepers are fired, the wolves start running the pen. Why does it feel like every time the Integrity Commission corruption gets close to the truth, the rules suddenly change. Coincidence or calculated? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more honest, unfiltered breakdowns of Jamaica's political power plays, don't just watch, subscribe and hit that bell. We go deep every week. Drop a comment. Do you believe this move was justified, or is this the start of a broader cover-up? And if you think corruption in Jamaica deserves more light, like this video so the algorithm does its job. This is not just news, it's power, politics, and the people's right to know. First it was the Prime Minister's declarations under fire. Now this is Jamaica's anti-corruption legacy being erased piece by piece. Speak up loudly in the comments. Enter Mark Golding. So make we hear where Marky G have to say, because shots were fired politically.
The Auditor General has been a member of Jamaica's principal integrity oversight bodies since independence. The JLP's argument for the removal of the Auditor General from this critical role is spurious. There is no constitutional or other impediment to having the Integrity Commission audited by the independent professional audit firm, which is a well-established practice utilized by various public sector bodies. The synergistic benefits of the Auditor General being a member of the Integrity Commission in the fight against corruption outweigh the contrived arguments to the contrary, which is why it is specifically provided for in the Integrity Commission Act that was passed under this administration. We will safeguard our anti-corruption institutions, ensuring that they remain independent, fully resourced, and above political interference. If the government carries through this latest move, the PNP, when in government, will restore the Auditor General as a commissioner of the Integrity Commission. We will introduce long overdue legislation for unexplained wealth orders, which are another critical anti-corruption tool that this government has reneged on. And we will amend the Constitution to enable the impeachment of delinquent parliamentarians. The Jamaican people deserve better than a government that is at war with good governance.
So now make we hear what the DPP have to say. Come in and know what's going on here.
Paula is somebody who I know and I care for.
But it's not about
No. I care for. I just want to make it quite clear. Sure. And I admire her. But I have always thought that as an Auditor General, just like as DPP, she should not have been sitting on that commission.
Point of order, DPP Llewellyn. Point of order. When since you turn public commentator on things concerning the Integrity Commission, there is no conflict of interest existing here. Them just try to create one where there is none. Why you never so vocal about Dennis Strong appointment? How you never so vocal about say the mere fact that them change the ad? A 2 ad they running at the first ad 12 years law enforcement experience, 5 at a senior level. Then that's where that the ads there where they run 2024, January 2025 this year they run a second ad, 12 years managerial experience, you see me, 5 at senior management level. Oh, you not talk about that? Well, I guess every favor deserves another. Is it a case that you owe the government something and them are calling the favor now, so you come and play a public commentator? Me never know say it was the role of the DPP to become public commentator. Left that to vloggers, DPP. Leave that to vloggers. Come on, DPP. Come on. Do better than that. No bother with that. The international standard for Chief Technical Director at the FID, it is a standard requirement that the person holding that position comes from law enforcement. You see me? That is the international standard for a financial investigation division like the FID will investigate financial crime and money laundering. Yes, the international standard law enforcement background for the Chief technical director, not chartered accountant.
It would have been better for her not to sit. So that at all times, every single entity, especially the public servant, must always be able to come under the aegis of the Auditor General. She and I are the only public servants who are enshrined in the Constitution. And in the same way that I cannot just sit on any board willy-nilly, because I may get some sort of conflict down the road in my position as DPP. I have not sat on any board. I have been invited, but I have always declined because I don't want anything in terms of the confidence of the public to have to even consider a possible conflict. And I've always thought that perhaps it would have been better that she not sit on it.
Point of order again, DPP. The Auditor General doesn't even audit the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission is audited by a private institution. So had it been a case that the Auditor General is the statutory body that audits the finances of the Integrity Commission, then you could have called conflict of interest. But that is not the case. So DPP wanna talk about. Well, you never see smoke without fire. Let's not be surprised in the future if we see the DPP get politically appointed to a position by the government, just like what happened with Dennis Strong when he did come out and speak on the whole Integrity Commission matter, and we see him get appointed by the government. You see me? So me I wonder if she making a statement like this, she gonna get some sort of reward in the future by the government for her loyalty to the party. You see me?
I don't have a difficulty with the Auditor General being a commissioner of the IC. If the basis is that the AG audits that particular commission, I don't think it is done by the AG. In fact, it is not done by the AG.
Member, I would say I support the Auditor General remaining a member of the Integrity Commission, and in my understanding, where audits are done of the Integrity Commission, they're done not by the Auditor General's department, but by an independent accounting firm, which removes that issue of a conflict of interest. But I would not support her removal from the Integrity Commission.
It leaves you feeling as though your privacy has been totally invaded when you are not under suspicion of any illegality. And I think that it is our laws have to provide a balance, because even though we want to eradicate or minimize or root out corruption, we still have to respect the fact that an individual does have some rights, and that even a communication to the person that I intend to write the bank to ask about your accounts would at least show some honor and respect. No, the thing about, we can't make it seem that we want to criminalize people. We want people to comply.
In this constitution, the public service does not include service in the office of the Governor General, President, Deputy President, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Minister, Parliamentary Secretary, Leader of the Opposition, Senator, Member of the House of Representatives, Member of the Privy Council, Judge of the Supreme Court, Judge of the Court of Appeal, or Clerk or Deputy Clerk or of either House, or service on the personal staff of the Governor General, or subject to the provisions of Section 79 of this Constitution, service in the Office of Attorney General. So even though 120 sub 3 talks about has held, I would also say that the office of a commissioner is not a public office as defined in the Constitution.
So now we hear where Justice Minister Delroy Chuck have a say. Let's listen up.
The Integrity Commission is almost as big as many ministries, and it requires, in my view, the full force of the Auditor General's department to investigate. Not that I'm saying they've done anything wrong, but it must be clear to Parliament how the funds provided are being used. I'm sure we can find other good persons to become commissioners. Not that we have anything against the Auditor General being a member in terms of the integrity of the person. But it seemed to me to ask another public institution to audit the Integrity Commission is so unnecessary when we have a body like the Auditor General's Department that can do it. And it is obvious to me that the IC was acting inappropriately. They were getting information from all the different public bodies, including financial institutions, and they were writing reports using that information. The way that the Turks and Caicos case indicated is that basically that is an invasion of privacy, which is protected by the Constitution in Jamaica. And therefore, what the IC did in writing reports where they got information without the consent of the public official was wrong.
People are hypocrites. Here's why I say that. Let's put it in reverse. So, say for example, a Marky G and the PMP did inner power and everything we have now with the Integrity Commission and the FID, a Marky G and the PMP was doing the exact same thing. No, labor rights supporters would be outraged. They would have burned down Jamaica and say Marky G for resign, into thief, into corrupt, he need to come down now, time come for come down now, you see me? But when after them party in a power and it's time for them to show and prove the same energy, them end up defend them party and the corruption and the missteps and all of the wrong moves where them party keep on make one behind the other. Mistake back a mistake, back a mistake, wrong move, back a wrong move, back a wrong move. Then defend the JLP government. But had it been the PNP in power, being accused of all of the same thing, then would have say Marky G for resign long time. But when the PNP do the exact same thing where them would do, oh the PNP fi go now and the PNP them bad mind. So that's why I say people are hypocrites. People are naturally hypocritical. It's human nature. It's human psychology. And the PNP supporters them know we are called for Holness head upon a pike, and I say Holness will come down now and need to resign. If a Marky G did in a power, they would not defend Marky G and the corruption. If the situation was reversed, that's human nature. So that is why I don't take your two favorite political parties seriously, because people don't really stand for truths and righteousness. They not stand for what is right. Them only stand for what is right for them and them party in the moment. So when I feel them party in a power, you know, if you say nothing about them and you know, if you call them out for all of their wrongs and their misdeeds and all of them corruption scandals, allegations and accusations, you know, if you say nothing about it. Now, why on earth would the government think that this is a good idea to try disempower the Integrity Commission? Remember, you know, just what you know, this said committee did a try make a move to create an Inspector General as a oversight to watch the watchdog, to watch the Integrity Commission. So I don't know if this is the move them make before them create that Inspector General. Remember now, you know, the Auditor General has always been in that position since the inception and the creation of the Integrity Commission from day one. The Integrity Commission was created by the Holness administration from day one. Whenever the PMP create the Integrity Commission, it was the Holness administration. So they created the Integrity Commission with the Auditor General in that position from day one. So if it was a conflict of interest, how them never know say it was a conflict of interest from day one when them created the Integrity Commission and put the Auditor General in that position from day one? That I question I want to know. It wasn't a conflict of interest then. Make it make sense, because the math is not mathing. This is why I'm very critical of your favorite politicians. Whether them a PMP or JLP, me hold everybody to a high standard of accountability. You don't get to just come and chat where you want chat say and me I go make it slide. No, me I go check you, because what you say no make no sense whatsoever. This is just their way of, you know, weakening and disempowering the Integrity Commission. That is why Chung was placed in that strategic position at the Financial Investigations Division to also weaken the FID. So all of this is all a strategic chess move by the Holness administration. And the DPP of all person have the unmitigated gall to come out and say she see it as a conflict of interest. So how did the DPP never see Dennis Strong appointment as a conflict of interest? With the statement where Dennis Strong make, how did the DPP never say nothing about that? But we know why why the DPP was silent on that matter. We know why, because we see the government save for her career. You see me? So we know say she is on Holness side because then give her back her job and then save her career for a moment. So we know say that is why she stayed silent on that matter. So now I can no longer take the DPP serious. And I like say she did have no major conviction under her belt from day one. So basically her whole career was a joke. No legacy. So Paula Llewellyn need to just shut the hell up